Hey guys, so for those who don't know me, my name is Catherine, and I'm a big do-it-yourself type of person, so I decided why not create a channel that will help people make do-it-yourself type of projects. Most of these projects are going to be easy and inexpensive to make. So for the first project, I'm going to be creating a wreath that costs a little under $12. It comes out like this. It's really great, and so you won't miss any of my projects that I'm going to be creating. Please make sure to subscribe and always give the videos a thumbs up. Okay guys, so the material that you're going to need are a glue gun, some glue sticks, a pair of scissors, some ribbons, I believe these are called tube cleaners, and 6 bouquets of flower. And this is actually optional, it's the door hanger. Most of these items I bought at the Dollar Tree store. You can buy them in the 99-cent store. So what we're going to begin with is taking the bouquet apart. So you're going to take each stem and like break it apart. But before doing that, you want to raise the leaves that it has up. And let me demonstrate that. It's more. So you just push them up. Once you've done that, you could either do this, but it's quite hard. So you could also use your scissors because you are going to want to cut these stems shorter anyways. So you just have to basically go like that. It's not going to cut all the way through unless you have a wire cutter, but regular scissors work fine. So we're going to continue doing this until all the flowers are apart. Something I forgot to mention when picking your bouquets, if you notice, I have more of 2 types of flowers, and that's because you need 4 bouquets that will basically be your main flower or color, and 2 bouquets that will serve as the accent. And you'll see what I mean later in the video. Once you have all your flowers separated, we're going to set them aside. You're going to take your wreath. You will need to put this side up. You see how it's like a concave shape. This is your face. This is your back. Now you're going to put the wreath facing up. And you're going to start forming bouquets consisting of 3 stems. What we're going to be doing is intertwining the stems to the wreath. So we're going to start by bending the end of the stem that's closest to the flower, like so. You are going to want to place the flower on top of the wreath. Keep in mind some of the stems might still need more cutting, so if you need to cut them, go ahead and cut them. And what I'm basically doing is just twisting the stem of the flower onto the wreath. If you notice, the wreath has 3 rows, so I started with the inner row, and that's where I intertwined the first flower. You just want to intertwine the flower up until it kind of stays, because remember we are going to be hot gluing it. Now you could see how it's coming along. It's yellow, brown, then again yellow, then a brown, and you continue on. The flowers were moving around a little bit too much for me, so I decided at this point to glue them down, but it's really your preference. If you've noticed, I've flipped around the wreath because it's easier to glue down the flowers. Okay, so to glue down the flowers, you're gonna want to put a small amount of glue onto either the wreath or the stem of the flower. Just hold it in place until the glue cools down. You'll continue doing this to the rest of the flowers until they're all glued down. Something I forgot to mention when picking your bouquet is that you're going to have 2 flowers as your main and 2 accent flowers as well. 4 of the bouquets are going to be the same, 2 the same, and 2 the same. So that's 4 total and then 2 accent flowers. Alrighty, so now we have all our main flowers on the wreath. If you notice, we haven't touched our accent flowers. We're gonna move on and start with our ribbons, and we're gonna be making some bows. So we're starting off with 2 ribbons, and you're gonna wanna cut one around 5 inches, and the second ribbon slightly shorter than the first ribbon. So maybe I would say maybe 4.5 inches. If you notice, I'm leaving room on both of the sides, which is what I was trying to demonstrate there. To make the bow, you have to fold both of the ribbons in half together, and then you're just kind of like crunching it all towards the middle, and you're gonna use your tube, your pipe cleaner. I'm not really sure what it's called, your pipe cleaner, and you're gonna wrap it around and it creates a little bow. But before we tie it, we want to make sure that you cut all your ribbons that you're going to be using the same size. I mean, they don't have to be the same size, but it's easier, less work. Just a little extra thing that you would want to do is if you want to get your ribbon tails, you fold the ribbon in half. And you cut diagonally. And you have your ribbon tails. If you notice, I just did the ducktail to one ribbon because the other one was a little bit more frail and I didn't want to ruin the material. You can't really tell the difference, as you could see there. Now we're going to be using our pipe cleaner, and you just cut a piece off of the pipe cleaner, and like I said, you fold the 2 ribbons, you crunch in the middle, and all you're going to be doing is twisting the pipe cleaner onto the ribbon, and that's basically all you do. And you tighten it as much as you can, and you fix your little bow. Once you've made all your ribbons, all you're going to be doing is looking around the wreath and looking where there's an empty space where you think you need a little sparkle and make the wreath look a little bit fuller. Again, we haven't used our accent flowers, so we will be filling the empty spaces with that as well. Just continue putting bows until they're all gone. And now you're just going to be playing basically with your accent flowers. Since I have space here, I decided to do 2 of these here. Gluing down the accent flowers is going to be much easier. You're basically just going to be putting glue onto either the that leaf part of the flower, and just kind of sticking it together to the other flower that's already in place, like that. As you've noticed, there's a space on the top of the wreath, and that's actually going to be covered by a bow, which we're going to be doing right after we finish gluing these flowers. Okay, so for the bow, you're going to want to fold the ribbon and make sure that you have 4 loops on each end. Once you've done that, you're gonna crunch it up how we did with the other bows, right in the middle, and tie it with a pipe cleaner. Once you've tied it with the pipe cleaner, you're gonna be opening up the loops and then just separating them from each other. So to finish off your bow, you're gonna want to create the 2 tails that dangle from the bow. And so what I did, I cut the remaining ribbon, and then I cut another piece so that there could be 2 tails, and then I just did the duck tail again. Then all you have to do is just attach it to the wreath. Ta-da! And there you have your wreath. What I did to mine was I attached a door hanger, and that, like I said, is optional. You could just attach it with a pipe cleaner. Hey guys, so any comments, questions, please leave them down below. If you guys decide to create the wreath, make sure to tag me so that I can see all you guys' creations. Until next time, guys.